So today I'll be talking about how I edited Chisom. Sorry, let me call her Miss Chisom now because her name has changed. Miss Chisom now. This is a photograph I did for a friend of mine last year, and I actually want to explain how I edited this picture from the starting to the finish. So before the wedding, I actually had what exactly I had in mind to do for this wedding because I wanted to shoot on LED lights. I love shadows coming out, and I just needed something artistic. And exactly when I went to the hotel, I saw the walls, and I was so excited. I saw something like this. So, and if you look at this image very well, you will notice that the shadows was there. Our posture was very nice for me. The I've forgotten the name. The stuff that she was holding in her hand, this traditional stuff was sweet and the rest like that. So the best thing I did now was to make the image straight for me, because that from the camera it was looking somehow bent. So that's what I did. I actually made the image. That was the first thing I did. And secondly, there's this socket that is showing here, or should I call it a connector that connects the lights or the televisions to a device. So, and I need it to come out. So the only thing I did was to use my lasso to select that axis, and I use um 20 Photoshop 2019 has made it easy. You don't need to use clone stamp to start removing these things. So all I did was just right click, go to the fill button and click on fill, and control aware is there, and it has removed the the socket. So the next thing that I did here was to remove the blemishes, the pimple, and all those substances in her body, on her face, on every part of her. So that's what I'm doing. So, and I'm using this spot healing brush to remove this. So I actually take my time to remove when it comes to get perfection on my image. Like, I take my time, I make sure I go through every details of removing the the either pimples or dust or gold dust that do come out from clothes, sometimes the air strands and all those things like that. So I take my time removing those things. Well, um, it's just how I do my things. Other people have their ways that they enjoy very well, but me, I actually learnt it the manual way. So that's why I'm doing this the manual way. Just permit me. So these, I'm removing the hair strings, all this distraction that is from the hair, and also um, removing this thing to you see it's coming out. Then I went to the ear axis. Remind me, a kind of someone that likes everything to look perfect, even though it doesn't look perfect. Let them just look clean, let it look smooth, let there be something sweet. That's just how I edit my pictures. But I just hope you're enjoying this. But do me a favor by subscribing to my channel and also commenting and also liking my videos. That will encourage me to do more. And this year I plan to do so many things like um, do live videos on how I take most of my pictures, how I did most of my pictures, my tour, how I do my movements. So you'll be getting a lot of things from me this year. So let's get back to the main reason why we are here. So I was still in the process of removing the blemishes. I would have fast tracked this side, but for the purpose of those people that are learning from basics, that is why I'm doing it this way. So you're now seeing the difference. So you see everything, the details, everything on how I edit, how I make everything look seamless. I try my best to make it look the way it is so that those that are learning those that are just starting, we understand it very well, very, very well. So this too, I'm also removing those substances on our body, on our hand, from the upper part of our hand to the lower part of our hand. I just want everything to just be sweet. Like when my clients end up seeing this picture, they will be happy that Lias has edited the pictures for them. Don't mind me. Just trying to be naughty here. Mm, yep. So this is it. So now at this point, I've finished remove this thing. So the next thing I want to do is to to whiten the eye. So the first thing I do while whitening the eye, I go to hue and saturation, drag the other distance to the left hand side for it to come black, and I invert. Then I go to photo filter. I use cool filter, which is cool filter 72. I've forgotten. You check, you see it's cool filter. So after that, I also invert, which is control I, and you can also do that from your image. Then you do those things. So I change my foreground color to white, and my brush, my fill is always at 33, and my opacity is always at 100. So I now go to the eye, whiten it, go through processes. I go through the first eye, the second eye, that is separately for photo filter. This is how I like um, whitening my eyes. After going through the photo filter axis, then I go to hue and saturation and also whiten it. So it's like two processes for me to get my whitening eye. But something about me is that why whitening the eye, I also like my eye whitening to look natural, not that it to be too white or stuff. But other people have their separate ways of how they whiten the eye. Like this is not the only way. There are many ways you can do. There's black and white whitening and different processes. It just depend on the one you are doing. So right now, what I'm doing is that I'm trying to erase the whitening that is at the eyeball, the eyebrow, and the eyelash axis. So that is what I'm doing right now. So I'm cleaning, erasing those parts that are not supposed to be white to make it look more professional, especially those kind of people that will just look at your image and they want to check the imperfection. So after doing all this, I I now have to increase. I will now increase the whiteness. After doing it, I reduce the opacity to 40. So look at it, the before and the after. You will notice that the before it was a kind of reddish, and after it was now white, but it wasn't that white. So then this is the image after working on the socket, touching the pimples and all those stuff like that. So now at this point, what I'm doing now, I want to do the frequency separation, and you already understand the importance of frequency separation, which is to separating the image, the color of the image from your texture, in the sense that you can work on your texture layer separately and also work on your color layer separately. So what I'm working on presently now, I'm working on the color layer. If you look at this thing, you notice that these two other, there's something they call high frequency and lower frequency. So the lower frequency is the color of your image, while the higher frequency is the texture of your image. So now I'm doing the correction of color. I'm doing the correction of skin at these other correcting tools, which is a separate layer. So I'm using an automatic frequency separation. But if you want to learn the manual frequency separation separately, there's no problem. So what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to blend in the skin, because if you look at the skin at the first place, you'll notice that the skin isn't that smooth. So what I'm doing now is to blend the skin, in the sense that where the light is, let it flow, and where the light stops, let it flow. So I'm just trying to blend everything to make sure that the skin is perfect, even if I want my pictures to be natural, but at least let there be a kind of orderliness in the picture. Let there be a kind of smoothness. Let the transition of the lightning, the skin. Let there be a sweet transition. That's what I'm doing. So now sorry, I did not tell you the brush I'm using. The brush I'm using is called the mixer brush, and you will see the opacity I put. This is how I like to set my mixer brush 20 20 20 20. Other people do theirs 20 30. All of them do it 15 15. All of them, some people do it 10 10. But I like mine to be 20 20 20. So this is how I'm trying to blend the makeup, so let it not look distinct. But one important thing you should know is that while using your mixer brush, you should be very very careful, in the sense that you are not spoiling the image, you are not hiding the light part to the darker part and all those stuff like that. So those are one of the things you need to be very very careful of while using your mixer brush, because the thing can be so delicate, it can spoil an image, it can also beautify an image. So it does depending on how you use the tool. So many people misuse it, but every we are learning every day. So we are learning every day. So even me, before I got to this point of, I know I've not gotten the mixer brush idea very well, but at least I know that with what you are seeing now, it's something you can practically understand and go and work with. So that's just the idea about the mixer brush, blending everything together and just make sure everything is sweet and seamless. So if you notice that even after doing all those things, I still went back to the face of the image to make sure there is a sweet transitioning, like everything is looking okay and professional. So that's just it. Sometimes that's just how it is. It is what it is. I don't know if you now. I don't know if you are actually seeing the difference. So I also went to the hand and also tried to blend. Remember, I said you should be very, very careful while using this mixer brush, because the mixer brush can be so, so delicate. If you overuse them, it's going to affect your image. If you use them wisely, it's not going to affect your image. So I also go to the hand, mix it very well, and make sure that everything is looking very, very okay. So this is it. This is it. This is it. That is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. That is it. This is it. This is it. Hey. I'm not green for any person this year. Oh. Forget about that. I love playing. What I mean is that no green for any our pictures this year. So all what's our plans for this year is to make sure that we improve, we develop, we share knowledge. Where I don't know, you tell me, and when you don't know, I tell you. So I share knowledge. No one is an island of himself. So we learn every day. In this no street thing. So now we get back to our image. Then I zoom in for you to see the difference. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. If you notice, there's no much difference from the former one, and so everything is still looking the way it is. Okay. The other part of it, I'm sorry that this image does not look that sharp. What really happened is that during the day of the wedding, you know how it is now, Nigerian wedding, when makeup artists are going to use 90 hours to edit, and all of a sudden they give the photographer few hours to do all those stuff. So that's not an excuse, but that's it. But I'll still try to sharpen the image using my Topaz AI. So what I did there was, I don't know, in case you don't know how I got this image that was staying in front of the display. What I did there was to do Control Shift, no Shift, alternative Control E. It will now give you that image there. So at this point, what I was trying to do here is, I'm trying to do the 4:7 Instagram size, because Instagram uses two in, or one in, and 4:5, or they use 16:9, depending on what exactly you're uploading. So I was trying to do the Instagram size, which is 4:5. That is why I did this thing. So I'm trying to fill in this part. I'm trying to fill in this part. So it's taking I really need to get a MacBook, but it is coming. I'm using a Windows, that's why the thing is so slow. So if you look at this side is now filled up. is filled. Then I go to the. So I wasn't satisfied with what I was getting, so I had to just leave it, let it be like how it is. So what I'm doing right now is try to just check my images and see I know what's up. So yeah, I'm trying to add grading. So this is a format grading I use for all my pictures, which have the hue and saturation, curves, level, selective color, and also this two selective color. So this is my constant grading. That's what I use for all my image. This is an image I do for Calbi. Is one of those best digital marketer in Abuja. So I dragged the grading to this. Look at the difference between the grading and not grading. So all I do is I just increase the necessary thing I need to increase, just do the corrections I need to do, and just make sure everything is okay. I don't know if you've actually learned anything from this. If you haven't, please you talk in the comment section for me to know what next to do, how well to explain it for you. If you want me to go through details, even if you want me to explain it, how I remove the pimples separately, how I did this one separately, there's no problem. I'm willing to help you out in anything you need. Like I said, this year is all about giving you constant knowledge, giving you basic knowledge, giving you the knowledge I know, giving you the knowledge I will achieve for this year. Like in this year, I'll be going to so many paid master classes. We just have to grow. We just have to go, which is the most important thing. There's no any other option than just growing. You just have to grow by all means. That's what we are actually doing. So at this point now, what I was trying to do was to just try to open my Topaz AI. So Topaz AI is actually a software that I use to sharpen my image, especially those images I was unable to sharpen. Um, that's what I do. So it's an AI assisted app that makes you um, um, sharpen any image that is blurred, that is not sharp, and all those stuff like that. So at this point, what I did was to go to the camera roll to touch my shadows, touch my highlights, deal with my spectrum, and also vignette it. I don't know why the surface of my Photoshop is not showing it. I don't know, but I don't know if you understand the explanation. That's what I did exactly here. Go to raw. After the raw, if you are using any kind of, you are going to see the basics, you're going to see the vignettes, you are going to see the noise, which is the details and all those stuff. So those are one of the things I did in this image, to just touch my noise aspect, reduce my spatial a little bit, take the highlights down, increase the shadows up a little bit, then check the noise reduction aspect, make it 30 and all those stuff like that. And also the vignetting, that is what, yeah, I don't talk too much. I need water, I need water, I need water. Somebody help. Okay, so that's just it. At this point now, what I was doing, I don't know why it isn't showing. I was trying to show you how I do save my images for uh for web. So what I do is to go to the file menu. After going to the file menu, I go to the export. Then when I go to the export axis, you will see save for web. After going to the save for web, then you see your normal size, which they tell you the optimization is on, the embedded color is on, my quality was at 100 but I had to reduce it to 50, so it will enable me to upload on Instagram. Then after that one, then your image size, you just deal with your image size how you want it to be. Then after that other aspects, then voila, the next thing you do is to save your image. No much work in this image, so I just did the few things that it's necessary for you to know as the basics of why we edit. So most times while editing, I take much time to edit my pictures because I actually like my pictures to look very, very good. Like very, very good. I don't joke with any image I'm letting out. Most times I might finish image today and the next day I'm not satisfied with it. I might still touch it again. But I'm still keeping that in mind that I don't want to over retouch image whereby I will not make the person look too cartoon. Now that's not how I want my image to be. So that's just it. So back to this thing. So I still say again, subscribe to my channel, help me grow my channel, invite people to come to my channel so they subscribe to my channel, help me like, help me comment, support my little academy. We are just starting. We know with time we will get to that bigger space. We are not hiding any knowledge from you. We'll be giving you the necessary knowledge we need. Most of us were not privileged to get this knowledge, but with time we met, we went for classes, time we learned other things. So I would like that you just take this thing so serious. Don't take it for granted. Try to learn the necessary thing you need to learn. Try to ask the necessary question you need to ask. Try to study. Try to explore. Try to do anything if possible. Go on YouTube, bury your head in the night. Just learn the necessary thing you need to learn. Just put the knowledge first before the money, which is the most important thing. Don't forget, try to put the knowledge first before the money aspect. Please just take that very, very important. As it is at this point, I am kind of tired. So thank you very, very much for taking time to go through my channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to also teach and also share my knowledge. Even in the process of sharing knowledge, I still learn. I relearn, I unlearn. I make sure I learn everything necessary I need to learn, and that's actually what makes a professional. You learn. No one is an island of himself. You just keep learning every day, back to back. You just keep learning, no going back. Learn to the end. So thank you very, very much for